Okay, hey everyone, welcome. My name is Taya and this is my very first video. Welcome to my channel, Stay Pause. The video is going to be about maladaptive daydreaming, as I have recently discovered that I am a maladaptive daydreamer. Now, so daydreaming is a term that Jerome Singer just came up with in 1966, and basically it means, well, he has multiple definitions, but one of them that I'm going to go with right now is when your mind wanders from external tasks and kind of moves towards a form of thinking that is a stream of consciousness. Now, some of this can be really positive and really fruitful, and honestly a lot of people actually daydream. It's just that when there are some people who daydream an excessive amount, and when that amount actually interrupts with your day-to-day tasks, such as your social relationships or with school or work, that's when it becomes maladaptive. Now, again, this is a term that I just discovered mid-June or so when I was submitting an application, and I had for the past few months since the pandemic began been kind of doing a lot of brain training just to sort of practice how to control my thoughts and manage my mind. And as I was trying to find synonyms for this thought chart that I created, I found this term, maladaptive daydreaming, and thus I found the community on Reddit. And, part of me was super excited because I thought, whoa, there are other people like me, but at the same time, it wasn't so much like, wow, there are other people like me, but mostly because I genuinely, for some reason, thought that everybody did this. But, when I found the community and actually saw people's descriptions of what it was like for them, I was like, woo, I found my people. Sick. Now the thing is though, as I was reading so many of these forum posts, I realized that a lot of people have, myself included, we kind of tend to daydream about an idealized version of ourselves. And, this isn't everybody. Daydreaming is extremely diverse and it's different for everybody. Some people have extremely cool, different worlds. Some people have different kind of for me, it's more like, not necessarily like a whole world, as it hasn't been as long-term for me, at least not that I can recall, maybe since high school, which has been about a decade for me. But mine are more sort of like scenes, some are like kind of conversations, and in that case, sure, we might want to define it differently. It's like mind wandering of sorts. Again, this is my first video. We can get into definitions and yada yada later. Okay, I don't actually know if I really, I think this video is still gonna make sense. Still gonna post anyways. Sorry that got a little confusing, but I promised myself I'm gonna post this, so here we go. I decided to create this channel mostly to bring over those techniques that I've been learning about over to the maladaptive daydream community, because so many people live in these idealized worlds and with an idealized version of themselves, and I really truly believe more than anything that we can actually translate this and bring our idealized selves to our external world. Have I done this yet? No, not yet, you guys. I just discovered this mid-June, okay? But I am determined to figure this out. And by figure this out, I don't mean stop daydreaming, because I love it. So Ellie Summers coined the term maladaptive daydreaming, and he said it's kind of like virtual reality, which it really is. How dope is it that we pretty much can envision anything that we want? You know what I mean if you are a daydreamer. But really, I think the thing that we need to focus on is actually just harnessing this kind of ability. This is really a superpower, and Stanley says with great power comes great responsibility. Now with that being said, please do not take this video and think, woohoo, hell yeah, I have a superpower, not gonna deal with it anymore. Obviously this is something that is hindering us in some ways or forms, and what I mean by hindering is that, so when we say maladaptive and it interrupts with our life, for some of us, we daydream for many hours, as in it could be 3, 4, 5, could be 15 hours. It's really funny. I asked my brother if he daydreams and he said yeah, and I asked him, oh, so how long do you daydream for? And do you daydream for a short period of time, a long period of time? And he asked me, so what's long to you? And I said, well, short is couple seconds 10 minutes kind of, and long is, you know, like a few hours. And then my brother just looked at me and said long is like 10 minutes for him. So daydreaming does not run in the family, apparently. Whatever. Anyways, not the point here. Okay, sorry it's getting a little bit darker. I put this off for too long, not gonna lie. Now daylight is leaving me soon, so that's why I'm forcing myself to kind of push this through. Also, apologies that I say and like so many times in these videos. I'm really nervous, but I do know that this is really, really important, not just for me, but for maybe a lot of people. If I can even help one person, help them come from their internal world and to bring this idealized version of ourselves from these internal worlds to our external world, that would make my day. You know, and ideally we can do this with a lot of people. Like I said, I haven't gone there yet, but I do plan on getting there, and I hope you guys will join me in this journey. It's not going to be easy. I foresee a lot of failures, but I also know that if I can keep practicing all these different tools and techniques, that at least when I fail, I will fail fast and I will get back up. And I hope that, yeah, like I said, that you guys are here with me and that I can be here for you, and that we're here to cheer each other on for both our successes and our failures, because our failures are the greatest opportunity to learn, and learning is probably one of the greatest gifts in the world. The other main reason for this channel is that I would really love to bring maladaptive daydreaming to the forefront to the medical community. You know, there's so many times where I've been reading in the forums where people seem to be distressed or have a hard time finding a therapist or someone who actually understands them, even with parents or friends, because this isn't necessarily a recognized condition. And that sucks, you know, because we can't actually find out how to resolve this for a lot of us. And the thing is, for all of you who feel this way, I just want you guys to know that, you know, I hear you, I see you, and I'm here for this. This is a real issue, I know it. And but the other thing is, though, like, as much as it sucks that people haven't jumped onto this and people aren't looking into this as much, I do believe that it's also up to us to be able to bring it to them. There are so many different disorders and diseases that are in the world. I don't think it's fair for us to just hope that these psychologists or neuroscientists are going to be scrolling through different Reddit forums trying to find one that piques their interest. You know, if we can garner interest, if we can bring this to the forefront, then I really do believe that we might get a better breakthrough into this. Okay, so a couple of my experiences are that I actually do find that a lot of the times I am just having conversations with myself, or not necessarily just with myself, well, sometimes with myself, and sometimes it's with an imaginary, not an imaginary person, but someone, like a friend I know or something. One of my triggers is actually that, so I just thought that I was a really bad texter, but actually I realized recently that whenever I get a text, even if it says, hey, I will actually visualize an entire conversation with this person, and many times too, and with many different versions of conversations, and I do it until I either forget or actually send the message. Now, I've realized that obviously if I just take the action and just message them, then it's over. But most of the time I don't do that because I'm too busy being triggered and just having an imaginary conversation with them. Yeah, sounds kind of crazy, and you know, now I get why so many people who are maladaptive daydreamers don't like to come out and talk about this that much, because we sound a little crazy to some people. Whatever. I know that this is really important for not just me, but there's so many people who have self-doubt or feel like they can't live this idealized vision, so we kind of like keep ourselves locked into this world. And like, so when I say like I talk to myself too, I realize that a mirror is a huge trigger for me. I actually had to cover my mirror, and it was actually a lot more sad than I anticipated it to be. And my mind genuinely loves to play tricks. Like, I'll actually just walk over to the bathroom mirror instead sometimes, or like I only cover half my mirror with a different cardigan, so sometimes I'll find myself kind of sinking down to the ground, just sitting down and look at the mirror and then talking. Again, sounds kind of crazy. Some people who do not understand this phenomenon are going to think that I'm insane, but I don't care, because again, this is important, so here we go. My other, I'm with the mirror one, like, I think I just realized that when I really like reflect on the kind of conversations that I have, they're kind of like bigger, deeper conversations, and honestly it allows me to get to know my subconscious thinking a lot more now that I understand it, which is great. But I think I realized that for a long time, as you may have noticed, I'm quite peppy, but I've also had depression for a really long time, and whenever I went to a therapist or something like that, like no one ever really believed me. And even I'm in a design field and I've always been quite creative, but a lot of times when I talked or something, like people would just be like, yeah, okay. And so for me, I think that this is kind of my way of being able to talk out my dreams and thoughts even when other people didn't believe me and stuff. Yeah. Some people think that this is, everyone is, for some, I think only 25% of people are actually have some sort of trauma related to daydreaming, which I'm actually going to make another video on that because I have a whole theory on this. My other daydreams are actually kind of in different scenes. This is going to be kind of embarrassing to admit, but I really love Formula 1 and I love Elon Musk, so sometimes my daydreams are like I'm in this like cool boardroom place with all the F1 drivers and Elon Musk, and we are together designing the coolest, dopest like Formula 1 race course that travels through space and goes underwater, and it is like the wildest thing ever. Sometimes they're like daydreams about like maybe someone I have a crush on or like something like that, yada yada. My daydreams sort of tend to, like the daydream scenes tend to sort of vary depending on what stage of life I'm in. Holy crap, it's getting so dark. Yeah, okay, shoot, sorry, whatever. This is kind of hilarious. I really hope whoever is watching this also finds it kind of hilarious. And I'm also kind of posting this sort of shitty, I'm also posting this video and willing to show my vulnerability and just to like take the leap, because I know it's scary, but I also know that if we don't kind of get to know our fears and take these leaps, we're never going to leave our internal worlds and our daydreams. So I hope you guys get to see this and see that this isn't just something where I'm like, yahoo, I have so much courage and I'm just doing this. Like, I'm actually so nervous right now. But again, I know it's important. So yeah, so the way the structure is going to work is that on Mondays, I plan on releasing some video about a technique that's just going to be kind of towards self-development in general, and then going to leave it for about 3 days or so. So on Thursdays I'll make a new video and I will apply whatever technique towards maladaptive daydreamers. I think that everyone should actually try applying this to yourself first, because these tools aren't necessarily like a one glove fits all sort of situation. It's going to be like, the idea is I'm going to like whip out a billion techniques, and hopefully anyone who's watching this will be able to kind of like pick out which ones work for them, test them out, and then you'll be able to have your own little toolbox of techniques that work for you to help you get out to your most amazing and magical world, So yeah, and then on Sundays, hopefully I'm saying there's a lot of videos, sorry, this might take a little bit of time, but again, hell excited. Hopefully on Sundays I'll just be releasing more random like thought videos and theories about maladaptive daydreaming. Okay, cool. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm really kind of excited to see this transition of lighting. Whew. Bye guys, this is Taya. Thanks for listening.